Hi everybody, it's Kelly with Soulful Creations, and today I'm going to be doing the turned edge version of the Simple Wallet by Simple Artful Stuff. Now if you saw my raw edge version, which a lot of people have seen it, I'm so thankful. But you're going to love this turned edge version too if raw edges is not your thing. So I made these both with vinyl. This vinyl I got from Lux Hardware and More, and I got the snaps from Lux Hardware and More as well. This one is using the RFID liner from Lux Hardware and these 10 card slots. And this one, the same thing. So you see, and this one, I use the shorter card pocket on the back. And this one has a longer one that goes from edge to edge. And then I also put the decorative piece here on the flap, whereas I left this flap bare. So there's so many things that you can do to make this your own. I just love these little wallets, and I know I'm going to be making more. So I hope you will enjoy watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Get ready to sew the turned edge version of the Simple Wallet by Simple Artful Stuff. All right, so let's get ready to make our turned edge wallet, our Simple Wallet by Simple Artful Stuff. So I have my main piece cut out from this vinyl, and this vinyl is from your vinyl source. And I have used this template. So she advises that you cut this template from cardstock. So I have my template here, and you're going to place it over on the back side of your vinyl or leather, whatever material you've chosen. And you're going to trace this inner shape here. Okay, so that's going to be your placement for your stabilizer. So I'm using this self-adhesive stabilizer from Lux Hardware and More. So this one is like a Salpa equivalent. So Salpa is a name brand, so we can't call this Salpa, but it's going to work just as good. I'm excited to be using this because with this you don't need the heat and bond that you need for the other Salpa. So both, it's good to have different products to use. I love Salpa, but I'm gonna love this one too. I just know it. So I'm gonna give this one a try here. So you just pull back the paper. So there's paper on the back. We're just gonna pull that back, and then we're just going to stick that down right within these lines that we drew here. Okay, so. And by the way, I cut this by hand. I cut this with my scissors, and then I cut the slots, these little slits here. I just used my my utility knife. I didn't use my my Cricut or my Scan and Cut for this. Okay, even though you could. So I'm just placing this down, and it seems like it sticks really well. Get this lined up properly. Okay. Look at that. So we have that. It's stuck down really good. So look how quick and easy that was. So no need to go and press that on. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to apply some adhesive, or if you rather use double-sided tape, you can use double-sided tape. But I'm going to use some contact cement, and I'm going to apply it around this edge here, so right onto the vinyl, and then some right onto the stabilizer as well, because we're going to fold these raw edges in. So no raw edges here on this one. I'm using my Weldwood contact cement. Okay. I like to use this one on vinyl. I have a Quillam 315 that I like to use on leather. And then this one I like to use on vinyl. I just find it works a little better on the vinyl. It's just the smell is not so great. So let me grab, this is the board I like to use for glue, in case I get glue everywhere. So I'm putting some right onto the final and also onto the stabilizer. Okay, let's get that on. Just a thin layer. You don't need a whole lot. Okay. Get that spread on. So these wallets are just becoming quite the big hit. And I see why, because they are so much fun to make. And Anne has come up with the best pattern. It's just so fun to make. I love the shape of it. You saw my raw edge version, hopefully. If you haven't checked that one out. And check out her other stuff too on Simple Artful Stuff. She has some really cool patterns there. Okay, so we're almost done getting this glued. Getting the glue spread, I should say. Okay. Yeah. A bit more here. If you use this one, try to have some ventilation, unlike me. Okay. So now we'll let that dry up a little, become tacky, so that it sticks better. Okay. It dries when you put a thin layer. It dries pretty fast, and it usually becomes sticky pretty fast. So I'll come back after this has been sitting for a few minutes, and then we'll start to fold in those raw edges. Alrighty, so the glue is pretty good and dry. If you don't have one of these little hand fans like this, get one. I mean, it really helps to like dry your glue. It's good for hot flashes and drying glue. But anyway, these are. I will see if I can find a link for this and put it in my Amazon store, because it is one of my favorite bag making supplies to have. So I'm gonna add that. I love it. It gets hot in here. What can I say? All right. So now let's get ready to fold. So we're going to start with these straight edges. Okay. All the straight edges first. And we're just going to fold that over. So I'm using the stabilizer as my guide here and just folding these straight edges, and it's sticking really well. Okay. So we're going to leave all the little corners for last. Okay. And we're just going to get that. So get that folded over. And let me move this so it's not getting in the way. So that's drying, sticking really well. And then get this up here, and here. Okay. So now, once you have the straight edges pressed down really well, then what I do is I take my stiletto here. So right here in these corners here, I'm just going to start using this to help push. I don't want that down just yet. Hold on. Okay. So we're just going to start just kind of pleating it a little at a time until it's pressed down. Okay. Getting that good. We don't want it to be bulky. We want it to be press down. Good. And then any little thing that's sticking up, if we have to, we'll just snip it off. So if it's sticking up a little bit, but don't go too far to the edge because you don't want to see that. And so we're just snipping it off just a little. And then we'll take our, you want to take your hammer and just tap that down. Okay. Flatten it out just like that. Okay. And you get a nice little curve there. So I'm just going to work these little corners here. Okay. It's just sticking so fast. It's sticking faster than I wanted to. Before I can get it where I want it to go, it's sticking. Okay. So just get it and work it down. And then we'll just snip that off. Snip that off. Okay. And like I said, just give it a nice little tap here. Okay. Just make sure it looks good from the other side. Okay. Okay, so just little pleats. Okay. All right. So continue in this manner until you go all the way around. Have everything laying flat. Okay. Okay. And then over here, this is a little more to deal with. I add a few snips here. Just small little snips on these corners here. Okay, don't go too deep. It'll be a little less than 1/4 inch. And then I'm just going to start bringing each piece overlapping. Okay. And it takes a little minute to get it all just the way you want it. Okay, so just make your little adjustments and then see what it's looking like. So it's looking good from that side. So now this extra that's sticking up here, then I'm just going to snip that part off. Still making sure. Okay. And I'll just snip this little extra. There we go. Just tap that down. Okay. And when we put the liner on, we won't see any of this here. So that's why don't snip too far, too close to the end, because you will see it if you go too far. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, see, so that looks good, that little corner. Now we'll do the other. So just some little snips here. Looks good. And I'll just snip a little extra off. Okay. So that wasn't too bad, was it? Okay, so now we're just going to tap that down. Sorry for the noise. Okay, so that looks good. And I think that will work no problem. Just keeping that nice out of the way. We'll turn it over this way. And we're going to grab this seam roller, and I'm just going to just make sure all looks great here. Give it a good press here. Alrighty. So that's about it right there. Getting that prep, see? No raw edges. Everything looks nice and tidy. Okay, so now also we're going to go ahead and score these to get the creases in here for the shape of our wallet. Now she has a template for scoring that you can use. Just the way I'm going to do it, I'm just going to fold here at each of these creases here, so where these slits are, and I just use this. You can use a blunt pair of scissors, and I'm literally just going right across there to score. And this is very blunt, so it doesn't leave, it's not going to cut through, okay? So if you do use scissors, make sure they're really rounded on the ends. And this is just going to give me my nice crease here, okay? And you can see it's creasing it. And I'll do the next one. Okay. And you see how it's shaping up? It's giving me my nice shape there. And then the next here. And then the last here. Okay. And now you can start to see your wallet take its shape. When you get that. See that? Okay, so now we've scored that. Now we can go ahead and we're gonna add one of the accents if we choose. Okay, so these are purely optional. So I'm using this slip pocket, the larger of the slip pocket pieces that I'm going to put on the back. So this one goes edge to edge. It goes right to the edge, and we're going to just sew. I'm going to top stitch it right across the bottom. So it goes on the, let me see here, which one. Okay. It goes, so we have this fold here. It's going to go right on the edge of this one. Okay. So I can see that because I scored it. So I know it goes right there, right on the bottom. So if I fold this like this, I know it goes right here. Just right on the bottom of that fold. Okay. And then I could just clip it. And this is a cool little pocket if you want to put a receipt or, you know, just a card that you use frequently. And you just want to be able to grab it out without opening up the whole wallet. You can do that. But it's, you know, it's not really secure because there's no flap or anything. So just be careful if you choose to do that. If you're going to just carry your wallet without having it in your bag or something, you're just going to carry it by itself. You might not want to put something as important as a card in there. Okay. So now, like I said, I'm just going to top stitch the bottom for now because we're going to top stitch the sides later when we top stitch the whole wallet. So we don't need to do that right now. So just going to go ahead and do the bottom. And I can leave long tails and tie them to the back. And there's a diagram in the pattern where you can look at all different ways to kind of mix and match these accents. It's really cool. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that to the back and tie it off. I didn't go all the way to the edge. I went about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Okay. Just do that little. All right. Okay, so now we have that done. Now I'm going to be using a snap, a spring snap. Okay. So I'm using these lovely snaps from Lux Hardware. So I'm going to be using these spring snaps. So I'm going to punch through the whole thing later when I put this together. But if you're using a magnetic snap, there's instructions for how to install the magnetic snap. Okay, so make sure you follow those instructions when you're making yours. It's installed a little bit differently. So just make sure you follow the instructions for that. I'm also going to be using this this piece. This is the standard size. There's a mini size and then this is the standard size. This flap piece here. And I'm going to be putting that right here. And since I'm using a spring snap, because I want my snap to go right on top of that. I thought that would be cute. So I'm just going to get this stitched on and I'm going to place this. It's going to be, let me get my ruler here. Small ruler. But it's going to be 3/8 of an inch from the edge of the wallet, and then get it centered Okay, so I can put a piece of double-sided tape there to kind of hold it in place. And if you don't want these sides flopping around here, we could put a little here on this too to hold these sides down since they're not stitched yet. Okay. Okay, so I just want to hold this down. Just like that. Okay. And now let me get this in place. So 3/8. Is right there. And then we'll get this on. And we're just going to top stitch around the whole thing to get it in place. Now, if you're using a magnetic snap, you will need to, like I said, follow the instructions for when you need to place these pieces because it's different. It's going to be different. Okay. All right. All right. So that's going to be cute. I think that's going to be cute. And with the snap right there, I think that's going to be cute. Okay. So let me get this top stitched on. And again, I'm going to leave long tails. Let's just give a start here. Pull this one to the back. Okay. Okay. So now, look at that. So cute. And what do you know? I mean, come on. We're almost done. We're almost done. It's going to be so cute. Okay. So now I'm going to take, so there's a template for the spring snap and there's one for the, what she calls the wing snap is also the magnetic snap because it has these, it has these wings, of course, right? So follow the instructions. Like I said, I have to keep telling you because I want you to make sure you're not going to put them on at the wrong time. Okay. So I'm using the spring snap placement template. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my placement. Okay. Go. It's right there. So I have my placement there. And I'm going to go ahead and get this part installed. well, not install, I'm sorry. I'm going to punch the hole for this one. I'm not going to install it just yet because I have to add the lining first for that. So now I'm just going to put this part on so that when I fold this up, I can mark where I'm going to put the other half of the snap. So I just fold it and get it where I want it. Make sure it's exactly how you want it and situated straight. I add a couple of clips to hold it. And then I'm going to just use that to press and make an indentation so I know where to put the other half of my snap. Because the other half I want to put on before the liner. This one I want to put on after the liner. So I have the indentation there so I can see that. I'll mark that out. I'll punch the hole and get that part installed. Okay. So now I can take these two pieces. So I have a long piece and then a short piece here, like that. Okay, so this would be what they call the male part of the snap. So I'm going to push this through the back. Okay. I think I want to add, before I do that, I want to add a little more reinforcement. So I'm just going to cut a little piece of Decovil. So just a small piece of Decovil heavy. A little extra reinforcement never hurt, does it? Okay. So I have my little piece of Decovil heavy, and I'm just going to stick that through there and then push through. Okay. And now I'm going to get my setting tools. Okay, and I'll get that. Oops. Make sure it's on there correctly. Get the hammer and just a couple of whacks. There we go. I always say a couple and then I do 3, right? So I should start saying 3 whacks. I think it still could go on a little. I could give it one more good one. I always check and make sure that it's on good. Okay. There, now that's good. Okay. So now I have that part on. We're getting there. We're getting there. So now we can grab our lining. So now this is the RFID. What was that? Radio frequency identification. I think that's what it stands for. So this, I think with the new credit card technology, you don't really need RFID anymore. But a lot of people still prefer it. It's to keep people from stealing, your credit card information. So it's good to have. So this is also from Lux Hardware and more. And we're going to get ready to place our liner on to the back of our wallet. So it's self-adhesive, which is good. And so I'm just going to start pulling back the paper here at the top. Let me get it. Use this and get it going. So. Sometimes you got to use a little something to pull it up to start. Okay. Okay. So there we go. So once once you have it, and it sticks really well. So don't pull the whole paper backing off at first. Let's roll back a little. Like I said, I'm going to start here at the top. Go just maybe like 1/16 away from the edge. We don't want to go all the way to the edge, but I want to make sure we're covering any of those little folds. Okay, and try to get it on as smoothly as possible. Okay. And as straight. So I'm just taking my time, getting it on there. And we want to make sure we're getting it in those creases too. So you need to pull back, kind of work it, everything. That's my little mouth. Okay, so just get it pulled back and work it into the creases really well. So fold and work into the creases just a little bit at a time. Just go smoothly. And like I said, you want to fold it at the creases. Make sure it's worked into those creases really well. Okay. Pull back a little more. And just going. Get a little more over here, a little more. I feel myself veering off to one side a little more, so let me pull back and adjust. It's going a little crooked at first. Okay. There we go. That's straight. Straighter. Okay. There you go. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Make sure it's in those creases really well. Okay. And that looks good. So now, okay, look at that. So now we're going to get ready to grab our card slot. Grab our card slot. We have our card slot here. Okay, so that's the top. So we want that to go up toward the flap. And we're going to put some double-sided tape on the back of the flaps. Okay, so I'm using this 1/8 inch double-sided tape. I'm just putting it right on the edge on the back of each flap. And we're just about done, you guys. We're just about done. This is the Simple wallet. And even with the extra steps with turning the edges, it goes really fast. Okay, so I'm going to mark out where we're going to put the card slot. So I'm going to go here. Just put a little mark there. And where was the other one? I think here. Happened here. So follow the pattern for the placement marks. I believe that's correct. Let's see here. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So now I'm just going to peel off the backing from the double-sided tape, and I'm going to place one side here. Make sure it's faced the right way. And I'm going to put it right at that mark. And don't go right to the edge. Leave a little bit of space from the edge because you don't want it peeking out over there. Okay. And then we'll do this one. Okay. Right there. We can add a couple of clips to hold it in place. Hold it in place there. Okay, so we have one side, one half in. Now we're going to kind of fold it down. So take the paper backing off this piece of double-sided tape, and we're going to fold it down, and we're going to put it on the other mark down here. Okay, and get that clipped. And then the last one. Find your mark. Gets a little bit trickier as you get to the last one. Okay. Tricky, but not difficult. Okay, there we go. All right, so now you see that it's in place. We're looking good. Okay. Before I top stitch, I can go ahead and put my snap on before I forget. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that. But let me punch the hole all the way through the lining. Grab my tools here. So I'm going to get this part in place, push it through, and then grab the other part that goes with it. And get that on. Then we're going to put this here to protect the snap. Get this. So this tool goes right down into that little hole there. Sits in there. Okay. Get our hammer again and tap. Just like that. Oh, that looks so cute. That looks cute. Let me just snap it and make sure that it's so cute. It's so cute. I love it. Look at how cute that's looking. Okay, so now you can just top stitch. Now with a flatbed, I have to top stitch from the inside. Okay, so it can be a little scary. Just make sure your bobbin is right and nice. And I like to start over here on the side of the accordion because I am going to leave the long tails and pull it to the inside. So that's the most inconspicuous spot. So I'm going to start here on the side. So let me just get these clips out of the way. Get my foot in here. And then we're going to get... And then I don't mind doing it from this side anyway, because I can just make sure that I'm sewing over my liner and everything, and I'm not missing any spots with my liner. So it's kind of a benefit to doing it from the inside. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so we're almost to the end. So I'm going to pull this tail back out of the way and then finish it up. Okay, then we'll see what it looks like here. So let me just pull this up and back. Okay, let's see. So that looks good to me. It looks so good. Look at that. So cute. These are so cute. Okay. So cute. All right. So now I'm just going to tie these threads off. Get them in. I'm going to just use a needle to pull them through the other side, and then I'll be back to show you my wallet, and you see how fast we got that done, right? So I'll be right back. Alrighty. So that's it, you guys. That's the turned edge version of the Simple wallet by Simple Artful Stuff. So I stuck a little card back there. You can put all your cards in it. It's just the cutest thing. There's more little accents that you can add to it, or you cannot add the accents. It's your choice. But it's so, I mean, is this the cutest wallet? It's just so cute. I can make 1,000 of these, really. Like, they're going to be great gifts. Great for if you do, you know, markets, you know, pop-ups, or, you know, whatever. This is going to be such a good seller. So anyway, get the pattern. The link is in the description. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I'm so happy to once again be doing a tutorial for you. Thank you to everybody who's been watching, and thank you to those who are just joining. See you next time in Soulful Creations.